Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today on this live webinar about the introduction to Microsoft Azure IoT. We at Dynamics Square are super excited today to help you understand how Azure IoT can help your business in your digital transformation initiative. My name is Nitish, and I'm part of the business development team at Dynamics Square. And to talk more about this topic, I have been joined by my colleague Arpit, who is the solution architect for Azure IoT at Dynamics Square. Let's quickly see what is Dynamics Squared and what are the exciting things we are doing in the Microsoft business application space. Dynamics Square is a Microsoft Gold certified partner, comprises of more than 130 highly skilled Microsoft certified consultants, serving more than 275 clients globally. Our consultants work across different range of solutions, starting from Dynamics 365, Power Platform, and Azure IoT. Azure IoT is what we would be discussing today as part of this webinar. We are based in 6 global locations worldwide, including UK, US, Australia, Singapore, and India, through which we provide 24/7 support services to all our clients across all time zones. If we talk about solution expertise, we cover a full range of Dynamics 365, which includes both ERP and CRM applications. In the CRM space, we do customer service, field service, marketing, credit service automation, and customer insights. On the ERP side, we do manufacturing, supply chain, finance, operations, and human resources application. Not only that, we have expertise in the Power Platform application as well, which includes applications like your Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. We have recently added capabilities around Microsoft Azure IoT, which includes Azure IoT and Azure Double IoT, which is Industrial Internet of Things, which we would be discussing as part of this webinar. These are some of our clients in the UK. We have helped them with their digital transformation initiative through Microsoft Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. Now let's quickly jump to the webinar agenda, the topics which we will be covering today as part of the session. We will cover the introduction to Microsoft Azure IoT. What are the popular IoT devices in the market? What is Microsoft Azure Double IoT or Industrial IoT? What's Microsoft Azure role in Double IoT? What are the Microsoft Azure services available in the market? What is Azure IoT Hub, Central, and Edge? We will have a quick demo as well for you, so we would certainly urge you to stay tuned till that. We'll also discuss about what is the right IoT solution for your business. And then finally, the live Q&A, where we would urge you to ask away all the questions and all the doubts which you might have around IoT, and we'll be more than happy to answer those. So on that note, I will now hand over this session to my colleague Arpit, who will take it forward from here. Over to you, Arpit. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitish. Good morning, everyone. My name is Arpit, and I've been developing IoT solutions for quite some time now. A thing in the Internet of Things can be a person with a heart rate monitor implant, a farm animal with a biochip transponder, an automobile that has built-in sensors to alert the driver when tire pressure is low, or any other natural or man-made object that can be assigned an internet protocol called as IP address and is able to transfer data over a network. So what are IoT devices? An IoT device is typically made up of a circuit board with sensors attached that use Wi-Fi to connect to the internet. For example, a pressure sensor on a remote oil pump sending data to the cloud is an IoT device. Similarly, temperature and humidity sensors in an air conditioning unit, an accelerometer in an elevator, presence sensors in a room can all be constituted as an IoT device. These are some of the popular IoT devices that we'll be discussing today. The first one is MX Chip. MX Chip is an IoT development kit based on Azure platform and is jointly developed by MX Chip and the Microsoft Development Platform Division. The main control unit of this chip is EMW3166, which is a low power consumption Wi-Fi module developed by MX Chip itself. It has a built-in 128 by 64 OLED and other resources such as an LED light. The development kit has an audio processing unit to connect to Azure for voice recognition and voice play as well. The other includes sensor and extended surface as well. The second one is ESP chip. The ESP8266 is a low cost Wi-Fi microchip with built-in TCP/IP networking software and microcontroller capabilities produced by Espressif Systems in Shanghai, China. They are a big thing there. It is commonly used because of its built-in Wi-Fi and low cost. Third one is Arduino. Arduino is an open source electronic platform based on easy to use hardware and software. Arduino boards can read inputs like light on a sensor, a finger on a button, or a Twitter message, and can turn it into an output like activating a motor, turning on an LED, or publishing something online. You can tell your board what to do by just sending a set of instructions to the microcontroller of the board. And the last one is a Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi is a series of small single board computers, SBCs, developed in UK itself by Raspberry Pi Foundation in association with Broadcom. It is widely used in many areas such as for weather monitoring because of its low cost, modularity, and open design. It is typically used by computer and electronic hobbies due to its adoption of HDMI and USB devices. Well, now let's talk about industrial Internet of Things. The industrial Internet of Things, or double IoT, is the use of smart sensors and actuators to enhance manufacturing and industrial process. Also known as the industrial internet or industry 4.0, double IoT uses the power of smart machines and real-time analytics to take advantage of the data that these dumb machines have produced in industrial settings for years. The driving philosophy behind double IoT is that smart machines are not only better than humans at capturing and analyzing data in real time, but they are also better at communicating important information that can be used to drive business decisions faster and more accurately. Its focus is to optimize operations, particularly the automation of process and maintenance. Double IoT capabilities enhance asset performance and better manage maintenance as well. In the long run, it moves the industry towards a demand service model, increases customer intimacy, and creates new revenue streams, which all contribute to the digital transformation of the industry. Now, these are some of the industries where double IoT is commonly used. First one is manufacturing, logistics, aviation, oil and gas, mining, transportation, and much more. IoT has transformed these industries in a large scale. Now, what are some of the benefits of industrial IoT or double IoT? It helps in resource and asset optimization. You can remotely monitor your machines from anywhere in the world. It helps in proactive maintenance. It also helps in creation of new business opportunities by giving data insights, and it is cost effective as as much. Yeah. Now let's discuss about what is the basic difference between industrial IoT and consumer IoT. As you can see from the diagram itself, they are both connected to the same cloud as the data is being sent to cloud, and cloud is one thing. But the scale differs. In consumer Internet of Things, we are talking about the small scale objects like wearables, phones, TVs, washing machines, ACs, all the home appliances and all these things that we use in day-to-day life. In industrial Internet of Things, we are talking about heavy machineries, transportation, smart cities, automation, factories, healthcare, government work, and much more. So the basic difference between these two is the scale. These both they both have the same capabilities, but the scale is different. So yeah, and now let's talk about Microsoft Azure. How Microsoft Azure is playing a role in this IoT. Microsoft Azure has developed a collection of Microsoft managed cloud services that connect, monitor, and control billions of IoT assets. Made up of one or more IoT devices that communicate with one or more backend services that are hosted in the cloud. Some of the services that are offered by Microsoft Azure IoT right now. Azure IoT Hub, we'll be discussing this in the later slide as well. Azure IoT Central, Azure Percept. Azure Percept is used to accelerate your edge intelligence from device, which is also you can see here silicon to service. It is used to accelerate your edge process. Azure Digital Twins, Azure IoT Edge, we'll be discussing later in the slide. Azure Sphere, Windows for IoT, and Azure RTOS, which is real-time operating system. So now the question arises how these IoT devices communicate with each other. So typically, let's take an example of a refrigeration truck, which has a Raspberry Pi, which we discussed earlier, is a microcontroller chip. Connected some has it has connected it has some temperature sensors connected to it and is sending data regularly to a cloud, and then you can view it on dashboard. So how it happens is like a mobile refrigeration truck sends temperature every 5 minutes to an IoT hub. The backend service sends a command to a device to change the frequency at which it sends telemetry to help diagnose a problem if there's a problem. A device sends alert based on values read from the sensor, and your device sends information to display on the dashboard by viewing by the human operators. So this is a basic image of how a refrigeration truck is sending the data. You can get an overview of how it happens. So now let's talk about what we will be discussing today. We will be discussing three Azure services today: Azure IoT Central, Azure IoT Edge, and Microsoft Azure IoT Hub. Let's start with IoT Hub. IoT Hub is a managed service hosted in the cloud that acts as a central message hub for communication between an IoT application and its attached devices. You can connect millions of your devices and their backend solution reliably and securely. Almost any device can be connected to an IoT hub. Several messaging patterns are supported, including device to cloud telemetry, uploading files from device, and request reply methods to control your device from the cloud. IoT Hub also supports monitoring to help you track your device creation, device connection, and device failure as well. IoT Hub scales to millions of simultaneously connected devices and millions of events per second to support your IoT workloads. And on top of that, you can integrate your IoT Hub with extra services as well to further enhance your businesses, like Azure Event Grid to enable your business to react quickly to critical events in a reliable, scalable, and secure manner. Azure Logic Apps to automate your business processes. Azure Machine Learning to add machine learning and AI models to your solution. And Azure Steam Analytics to run real-time analytic computations on the data streaming to your devices. Next one is Azure IoT Central. IoT Central is an IoT application platform that reduces the burden and cost of developing, managing, and maintaining enterprise-grade IoT solutions. Choosing to build with IoT Central gives you the opportunity to focus time, money, and energy on transforming your business with IoT data rather than just maintaining and updating a complex and continually evolving IoT infrastructure. The web UI, as you can see here, lets you quickly connect devices, monitor devices condition, create rules, and manage millions of devices and their data throughout their lifecycle. Furthermore, it enables you to act on device insights by extending IoT intelligence into the line of business applications as well. So the question arises, how do we connect device to IoT Central? First of all, we have to create a device template for it. A device template is the blueprint that defines the characteristics and behavior of the type of device, such as the telemetry it sends. Examples include temperature and humidity. Telemetry is the streaming data that a microcontroller sends, how many times you want to send it. Business properties that an operator can modify. Examples include a customer address and a last service date. Device properties that are set by device and are read-only in application. For example, the state of valve as either open or shut. Properties that an operator set that determines the behavior of the device. For example, a target temperature for the device. And lastly, commands that an operator can call that run on a device. For example, a command to remotely reboot a device. Here's a sample IoT Central dashboard where you can see it's from a Lamna Healthcare. There are two patients. We can remotely monitor their heart rate, respiratory rate, blood pressure, body temperature, their range of motion, and their knee bend as well. You can see you can plot graphs as well to compare how it's changing with the time. So it really opens up the opportunities where you can remotely see everything without even visiting to the hospital as well. So yeah, now let's move on to Azure IoT Edge. Microsoft Azure IoT Edge is the technology from Microsoft for building Internet of Things solution that utilizes the edge compute. In the world of the cloud, the edge compute, also known as the edge or IoT edge, is the compute power that sits on your premise network right at the edge, where your network ends and internet begins. This could be directly on your main network or a guest network with isolation like firewall or subnet configuration. Another term for IoT edge is also called fog computing. With Azure IoT Edge, the way that cloud compute capabilities are pushed down to run on edge devices is using IoT Edge modules. An edge module is the smallest unit of compute managed by the IoT Edge runtime. These modules can contain Azure specific such as Azure Stream Analytics, or they can be your own domain specific modules code required by your IoT Edge solution. To prepare your application or workloads to run as IoT Edge modules, you need to build them as containers. In any IoT Edge solution, there are at least two machines to consider. One is the IoT Edge device itself, which runs on IoT Edge module. The other is the deployment machine that you use to build, test, or deploy your modules. So it's time for a quick demo. Let me show you how these things work. So as you can see here, this is our Azure portal. Everything in every service of Azure is managed from here. So let's start by developing IoT hub solution here. So we have to create an IoT hub here. So it will ask for these bunch of things like if you have a enterprise subscription or you are a free subscription, student subscription, you have to select your subscription from here. What is your resource group? It is a collect. You have to define your resource group as all the IoT hubs can be comprised of a one resource group, and you can see them in one resource group. So like I'll select this first one. I will name it as webinar 1234, and the location will be a UK. So next will be networking. We'll be giving it a public access, and we'll S1 standard, which will allow us to send 400,000 messages per day, and then we can create this. It'll have to validate first, then we'll create our IoT hub. As it will take some time here to deploy. Let me show you the one IoT hub I have created earlier for the sake of this webinar. Let me just cancel it here and show you the one that I already created. Here you can see we can check how many messages are being used today, our daily message quota, how many devices are being connected right now. So let's move on to IoT Edge. IoT Hub and IoT Edge can work simultaneously as well, and can work apart from them as well. So we have created an IoT Edge device here, which is called Temp123. And to connect this IoT Edge device to the physical gateway device, we have to copy this connection string here. Let's copy this connection string here, and I have set up a Raspberry Pi here with me, and let me just paste this connection string there. So I have installed all the required softwares that are needed to run IoT Edge on the Raspberry Pi, like Mobi Engine, IoT Edge, CLI, and all these things. And the next step would be to paste the connection string from your IoT Edge device to the connection string here, which will allow the handshake process between the physical device and the gateway device and the Azure IoT Hub device, so that they can understand that this is the physical device and this is the gateway device. I have already pasted the device here, a connection string here. So let me just check if everything is running fine. As you can see, Azure IoT is everything is running fine and everything is ready to go. We can also see it here. We have created, this is our IoT Hub, Dynamics SQ, and these are the modules that are running in the edge device, edge agent, edge hub, and simulated temperature sensor. This simulated temperature sensor is sending simulated temperature values to the IoT Hub currently. These are not the exact values, as we have not attached a physical sensor with it itself. These are the simulated values, and as you can see, this is an IoT Hub simulated device, and it is sending temperature values and humidity values. So, how do we check if the data we are getting is right or not? We can we can use a built-in endpoint where we can view this data, store that data in an Azure Blob Storage, events bus, or anything. We just have to create a route here. And what will be our endpoint? You have to select like it. You want to store that data in events hub, service bus queue, or storage. And from storing there, you can just view that data in a Power BI report or anything else. So this would be how IoT Edge and IoT Hub correlate with each other and how they function. Now let's move on to IoT Central. As I have mentioned earlier, IoT Central is a web UI, and you can see I have connected a simulated device which is sending some simulated humidity and temperature values. We also can see this is the temperature last known value and humidity last known values, and you can see it's a very neat graph where you can check everything. You can also see how many devices are right connected, how many devices, which device template they are using currently, how many device groups are there. Like if you have so many gas sensors, you can group them in a gas sensor, or it will show all the devices. And you can also create some rules here. Like I have created a humidity webinar alert here. Uh, the condition of this I mentioned is if the humidity is greater than 60, it should shoot me an email stating that humidity is higher than desired value. Though it will look like Microsoft is sending you an email alert like humidity webinar alert triggered on the device on this date at this time, and the note is humidity is higher than the desired value. So it will really help you to see how your devices are performing, if there is a failure or not, and you can be in control of everything. So coming back to the slides. So let's discuss what is the right IoT solution for your business. We'll analyze the criteria that experts employ when they decide which IoT service to use for a given business need. Understanding the criteria can also help you better understand the nuanced differences between each product. Not in every case, manufacturers and customers would rather not have their devices to be maliciously compromised and used for nefarious purposes. However, in some cases, it is more critical to ensure the integrity than others. An example would be of an ATM machine in comparison to the washing machine. As when security is in critical consideration in your product design, the best option would be to use Azure Sphere. Azure Sphere ensures a secure channel of communication between the device and Azure by controlling everything from hardware to the operating system and to the authentication process. This ensures that the integrity of the device is uncompromised. After a secure channel is established, messages can be received from the device securely, and messages or software updates can be sent to the device remotely as well. Next decision will be the level of service you require from your IoT solution. If you merely want to connect to your remote devices to receive telemetry and occasionally push updates, and you don't need any reporting capabilities, you might prefer to implement Azure IoT Hub by itself. Your programmers can still create a customized set of management tools and reports by using the IoT Hub RESTful API. However, if you want a pre-built customizable user interface with which you can view and control your devices remotely, you might prefer to start with IoT Central. In this solution, you can control a single device or all your devices at once, and you can set up alerts for condition as well, such as device failure. We have looked into this earlier, and IoT Central is awesome, by the way. IoT Central integrates with many different Azure products, including IoT Hub, to create a dashboard with reports and management features. The dashboard is based on starter template for common industries and usage scenarios. You can use the dashboard that's generated by the starter template as is or customize it to your needs. You can have multiple dashboards and target them at a variety of users as well. So that's it from my side. Now I'll hand it over to Nitesh for a further Q&A session. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arpit. I hope this was helpful to this today. The webinar is now open for the Q&A session, as rightly said by Arpit, and we would certainly encourage you to please ask away any questions which you might have around Azure IoT or double IoT or related technologies, and so that we can help you in terms of clarifying all the doubts which you might have there. So we'll open this session for about 10 minutes. So in case you have any questions, please feel free to ask. So we've got a question from Martin. He's asking, what steps can an organization take to protect IoT systems and devices? Arpit, if you could please answer this. Yep.
It's a very good question. Um, Certainly, organization need to take some steps to protect their IoT systems. The major thing would be to incorporate security at a design phase rather than implementing it at a later phase, and using public infrastructures and digital certificates to secure IoT devices. You can also use advanced cryptographic algorithms to encrypt data in transit and at rest. And also you can make sure your each device has an unique identifier and implement endpoint hardening as well, such as making the device tamper proof. So these are some of the steps that you can take to ensure your devices remain tamper free, and how you can protect your devices. Thank you.
Thank you, Arpit. Thank you, Tom, for asking this question. I hope this was helpful for you. So we've got one more question from Tom. He's asking, which companies and organizations support the industrial IoT? Arpit, if you'd like to take this, please.
As I remember, in the late 2012, General Electric coined this term called Industrial Internet of Things. And it's the synonym of Industrial Internet of Things, abbreviated as Industrial IoT or double IoT. Many other companies and organizations are realizing now the potential and significance of the Industrial IoT. A recent study conducted by Opinions and published in the Forbes as listed RTI as the most influential company for the Industrial Internet of Things. Some other influencers like Google, Cisco, Omron, Datalogic, just off the top of my head, are working continuously to enhance their businesses using double IoT. So yes, you can say a large number of organizations are supporting double IoT as of now. Thank you.
Thank you, Arpit. I hope, Tom, we were able to answer your question. So we've got one more question from Peter, and he's asking how the IoT makes a difference to the business. Arpit, please.
So let's see, businesses focus on getting your products to the marketplace faster and adapting our regulatory requirements, and they want their efficiency to be increasing, and most importantly, they want innovation persistently. With higher mobile workforce and evolving customers and changing supply demand, changing the supply chain demand, and IoT can move your enterprise forward, and that can happen starting today. So yeah, these are some of the things double IoT and IoT can make a difference in your how double IoT and IoT can uh, make a difference in your business. Thank you. Hope this answers.
Perfect. Thank you, Arpit. So we've got one more question from Hardy. He's asking, can you give us few examples of the impact of IoT on our lives? Arpit, please.
Yeah, to put things simply, an object that can be connected will be connected by IoT. Let's say, for instance, how easy it will be for you to start your day with an alarm clock, not only able to wake you up, but also being able to communicate with your coffee brewer to inform you that you are awake, and at the same time notifies your geyser to start water heating. Or your wearable wristband keeps track of your vitals to inform you when you are most productive during the day. These are just few examples, but applications of IoT are numerous. On large scale, transportation, healthcare, defense, environment monitoring, manufacturing, and every other field you can think of will be benefited from IoT. It's very hard to conceive the whole application domain of the Internet of Things now, but as you can clearly understand, it's a very interesting topic. Thank you. Hope this answers.
Absolutely, Arpit. And it's good to see the kind of impact IoT is making, both on the individual and business side. So pretty exciting times, I guess, for us. So we'll wait for another couple of minutes and see if we've got a few more questions. So I believe we are done with the Q&A session. So we'll move to the next slide. So on that note, thank you so much everyone for joining us today on this webinar about Microsoft Azure IoT and double IoT. And we hope we were able to add some value to you and your business through the talks we had today. In case you have any questions or in case you want to know more about how we can help your business in achieving digital transformation initiative through Microsoft Azure IoT and double IoT, please feel free to reach out to us. You can dial in the number, which is +44 207 193 2502. You can also dial in another number, which is +44 747 927 3380. In case you want to email us, you can do that by emailing at info@dynamicsquare.co.uk. Just to add in here, we have also opened a new office in Netherlands. And in case you are from Europe and you want to reach out to our European office, please feel free to reach out to our number, which is +31 970 102 57044. So on that note, thank you so much everyone for joining us today. We really hope that we had a lot of inputs around this topic, and we look forward to see you on the other side. Thank you so much everyone, and have a nice weekend. Goodbye.